Hey everybody, Luke here. I just finished my very first grand tournament. 100 whole players, 5 games of Warhammer over 2 days. It was awesome. So I've got 5 battle reports for you guys. This was the Northstar tournament in Minneapolis. It was just a ton of fun. I didn't really put together like an intro video of my army ahead of time to explain what I was doing. But I'll get into that when you check out my army here in this first video. It's 2,200 points though, so it's a little bit less than I'm used to. Otherwise, it was a fun tournament, and yeah, we'll talk about it as we get going. Game 1 versus a really nice Vampire Counts player named Tor. He's great. We had a great game, so here we go. Here's what he brought. So in this scenario for Game 1, it was the roll to determine what flank you're in for deployment, and the major objective was to kill 4 core units of your opponents, or kill all their core units if they didn't have 4. And then the minor was to kill 3 of their heroes. So you can see he's kind of got some deployment issues here. He's got a corpse cart straggling over there on the line. Then he's got some zombies and a necromancer. A necromancer level 1. He's got 3 Vargeists behind a group of like 20-25 ghouls. Then a group of sword and board graveguard. You don't see them too often, but you know he's got another corpse cart back there, so he can actually take advantage of ASF. As opposed to having the great weapon, so that's kind of cool. There's a White King in there with him. Then he put his skeletons and Vampire Lord in the building, since it was in his deployment zone. So he's sitting in there right now, and it's probably about 30 skeletons, and the Vampire Lord's probably, he's level 4, so he's definitely a caster, but I think he's probably pretty fighty as well. Excuse me. Then he has 7 Black Knights and a hero level Vampire mounted with them. So we go to my army. Now, I had fancy plans here. I signed up for the tournament. I was going to do a lot of stuff. And I had been rocking over these Orcs and Goblins since January. I've come pretty far. Now it's November. That's pretty far for this army, but I crapped out recently. Just had the hobby lulls, as you guys know if you watch my videos. So when it came to the tournament and coming up with the list, I pretty much just had to take what I had painted. I didn't have any chaff painted, and I knew I wasn't going to have the energy to cram right before it and try to paint up a bunch of guys. So, because this tournament allowed special characters, I thought, that's okay, because I want to take Black Orcs anyway. I like them. I'll take Grimgor, because he can help kind of offset them. Black Orcs, yeah, if you can't get Here We Go off on them, they can sometimes just whiff. So we'll bring Grimgor, we'll have higher leadership, will be great. So I've got an Ragnarok, 2 Doom Divers, 3 Trolls, Grimgor in 20, I think that's a total of 22 in that unit, with a Black Orcs with the Flaming Banner, a Wolf Chariot next to them. I guess that's kind of my only chaff next to the Trolls. Then, because, yeah, I know, a level 2 Savage Shaman. Because Grimgor's so many damn points at 2,200, I couldn't have a level 4. Now, with having a level 2, I convinced myself at the time it was going to be okay. I'll just be one of those combat armies you hear so much about. I really regret it. I would totally go back. That was awful. Not just having the casting and the dispelling power, but the few magic spells that I knew. This just sucked. This sucked all around, especially with this lore. There weren't good SIGs to fall back on, so I would definitely undo this. But I've got a level 2 of Black Orc BSB in there with him to quell animosity, and 30 Savages extra hand weapons. Then I've got Night Goblins, 20 with bows, 2 Fanatics in there, and a level 1 Shaman on the little Wah. So he's got the Dispel Scroll. So I win the Rolio first. Go to Vampire Counts, turn 1. Everyone just moves up here, as you can see. I end up failing Animosity right away on my Savages. Black Orc turns around, does 6 wounds to them. And I ended up ward saving 2, but still, that was a kind of spicy failure right off the bat. I wasn't liking this. We go to Magic. It's 9 dice to 7. I have very few spells like I was talking about with my level 2. I try for Sneaky Stabbing, but I got Sneaky Stabbing, I've got Brain Bursta and Fist of Gork. So really not much I can help now. I try for Brain Bursta on his Vargulf or maybe on a Necromancer or something, and he dispels it. Doom Diver 1 skid marks and hits the Trolls on his way to the Black Knights, does 2 wounds. That actually does a bunch of wounds, but 2 of them get through the regen. So at least I'm not down a model, but first blood goes to me on myself. Doom Diver 2 drifts and kills 6 zombies, going for the Vargulfs or Vargeists in the back, excuse me. Go to Vampire Counts turn 1. He fails to charge the Black Knights, rolling a 1-on-1 and a 2. That sucks. And at this point, because he was willing to go into the Trolls, I'm thinking he's probably got the Flaming Banner. So I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next, but that's what I'm thinking. Go to Magic. It's 7 dice to 6. I dispel Gaze of Nagash on the Savages, and he does get Curse of Years off on my Black Orcs. And unfortunately, he miscasts it, so I can't dispel it. He takes like a wound and ward saves it, no big deal. But of the 22 there, I lose 6. Now, Gaze of Nagash, or Curse of Years works. All the models have to roll 6 to take a wound. And next, on my Magic phase, it'll be 5, then 4 on his again. So it gets really bad. You got to dispel it, and it remains in play. But to lose 6 right off the bat was a little spicy, unfortunately. And like I said, Collabin's Detonation, but he ward saved it. The Trolls on my turn, go to Orcs turn 2. The Trolls make it into the Black Knights, and the Arachnarok doesn't, unfortunately. Now, I still think he's probably got the Flaming Banner there, but I'm thinking, you know what? I'll take a couple of wounds off of Pukes, or at least I'll tar pit him up, and you can see I'm moving my Black Orcs over there to deal with it. Everyone else just moves up on this flank, can't really get close enough for any charges. Yeah, and if you notice, by the way, he's just sitting here. Even the Vargeist are just sitting there. Like, this is very weird for a Vampire Count's army, but I'll come to him. During Magic, it's 8 dice to 5. I throw a couple dice at Sneaky, Stabbing, that fails or he dispels it, and I spend the rest of the dice dispelling Curse of Years so I don't take any more Black Orc casualties, and that's it. During Shooting, Doomdiver 1 kills 2 full Vargeist, doing 6 wounds, which is pretty great. Doomdiver 2 tries to finish him off and drifts and kills 4 ghouls instead. In close combat, the Vampire only lands 1 wound and I regen it. Black Knights land 1 wound and I regen it. Because obviously, if I'm regenning, he does not have the Flaming Banner. It was a pretty good bluff. His horse, like true Bretonnian or ex-Bretonnian horses, land 2 wounds. I regen 1 of them. They get the wound through. I have 2 Pukes left, but because it was 1 wound and it knocked me down to 2 models left, I only had 2 Pukes, only killed 1. I believe I lost that. Yeah, but we stick. Here's an end-of-turn shot. And also a shot that shows Vampire Count's turn 2. Nothing really happens on this flank. The Vargeist, the one left, fails to charge onto the Goblins, which sucks for him because he's going to get shot. The Zombies make it in. I release the Fanatics. I throw 1 at the Zombies. It does 4. It falls short, and he lands on it. It only takes 4, though, so it rolled really poorly. And then I send the other one out toward the middle. I'm thinking if I roll high enough, it'll be a nuisance over there for the Goblins. Maybe for me, but we'll deal with it. He doesn't roll very far. It just kind of stops there. During Magic, it's 5 dice to 4. He throws 3 dice at Gaze of Nagash on... I don't remember who, but I use the Dispel Scroll just simply because I feel like I'm about to lose that Goblin, so let's get rid of it. And I dispel Invocation of Nehek, which is what he was saving most of his dice for to bring back some knights, so that worked out well for me. In close combat, I net the Zombies, but they don't care. They swing like champs and kill 6. The Necromancer killed 1 of them, but 5 from the Zombies. They're 6 wide. Go Zombies, I guess. I did not expect that. I do 5 back. You know, I've got bows. I might have killed a couple on a stand and shoot coming in, but I lose combat. And I lose combat. I'm on a reroll with the BSB nearby, but not any leadership. So I'm on a 4 rerollable. I fail it, and then I make it on the reroll. So, whew, I'm going to have to, I guess, not underestimate Zombies. A little bit of a blurry picture, I think here. I don't have a close-up picture of the fight with the. It was a blurry picture with the fight with the Knights and the Trolls, so that's why I don't have it. So before we go into Orcs turn 3, we're still locked in combat there. The Vampire lands 2, I regen 1. The Horses land 2, I regen 1. And then, so I've still got 2 models. I do 2 wounds to him with Pukes. Lose by 1, but stick. So we go to Orcs turn 3. The Arachnarok makes his charge in. Now that there's a Troll dead, I'm able to get in there corner to corner. So he's going to make quick work of them. I decide I don't need the Black Orcs over there, so they reform and move over. I fail a charge with the Savages, unfortunately. I wanted to get in the Ghouls, chop right through them, and keep going. And because I fail, I move my Chariot as close to kind of blocking as I can there on my right flank. Now, I can't really block it, but what I can do is stop him from being able to get both groups into the Savages, because he won't fit. In order to wheel and to get his Graveguard in with my Savages, he'll knock his ghouls out. Won't be able to get into combat. So he's going to have to pick. And honestly, with the Savages, I'm okay with either one he picks. The Fanatic, in like a very precise screw-myself move, comes within millimeters of hitting the zombie group, but instead only hits the Night Goblins and does like 5 wounds to them. Like beats the living tar out of them and is sitting behind them. During Magic, it's 11 dice to 6. I don't have that much to do. He's not rushing to combat with me yet. I throw Brain Burst out, do 1 wound to the Vargulf, and I wasn't able to get anything else through. I think I probably tried Fists of Gork, but didn't get anything. During shooting, the Doom Diver kills the last Vargulf, which is nice, and Doom Diver 2 drifts on the ghouls, killing 1, going for the corpse card, but only takes out 1 ghoul. In close combat, the Spider wins and overruns, but it's getting pretty apparent now that we took our sweet time playing this game and only had 2.5 hours, so I was okay with letting him overrun and take his time coming around because I know he's not going to be able to. The only other thing I was thinking was instead of overrun, I would just reform, try to have the trolls overrun, and then go over the building because he can go right over it. But it's garrisoned right now, so I can't crawl over it. And he's not going to be able to be in combat anyway. Those points are not going anywhere. So that's why I didn't try to any other shenanigans. The Goblins, the few I have left, yeah, they net themselves this turn. They're doing everything they can to try to help these zombies out. They net themselves. I do 3 and end up losing 3, but now I'm out of the reroll. And then pick it up, roll Snake Eyes. Yeah, baby, we're sticking here. They're both so bad and so good at the same time. Vampire counts, turn 3. His Graveguard going to my Chariot, which is okay. And so what I'm trying to show with this yellow line here is I thought I was close enough to the building. You know, I'm thinking, I saw that movement tray. He can't fit. The vampire can't come out and see me. But I realized it as he started pulling his guys out. He can just reform in whatever way he wants as he's coming out. So he reforms them in such a way that his vamp and the skeletons are right there. And we didn't really care. We're running out of time. We're like, yep, you can do it. Who cares how wide you are? You can fit. So now I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do here. I'm probably going to get a vampire up on me. And I don't know how killy he is, but they're pretty killy by nature. The ghouls go into the savages, and I'm okay with that. We'll take it out. The corpse card's trying to keep up in the back, but I think it does get close enough to give some benefits if you get some spells off. Speaking of spells, we go to Magic. It's 8 dice to 4. He throws 4 dice at Van Hells, and I try to stop it, but I cannot. The power of having a level 2. So he gets Van Hells off on, so he's re-rolling on both his Graveguard and his ghouls. That sucks. And then he gets Hellish Vigor off as well. So I don't think he was able to get, I don't think he was in range to get the corpse card, but he certainly might have been. All that would do would be adding ASF on top of the rerolls, but kind of moot. In close combat, so let's see, let's do it this way. He throws out a challenge from his ghoul champion. I accept my BSB because I'm like, maybe I'll get some overkill or something. He throws 3 poison attacks out, and I'm like, holy crap, why did I do that? And I pick up the ward, say 4-up ward. I roll 3 4-up wards, so I was very happy. Punked him back, no problem there. And I stopped sweating. I end up losing 6 total savages to poisons and rerolls and doing 9 back. He was saying, holy crap, I totally underestimated those savage orcs. Just punked a bunch of them. He crumbles a bunch. And on the goblin side, I end up sticking again on a 4 reroll or something like that. I end up losing some, but sticking on the reroll. It's just amazing that they're still there. The Graveguard kill the Chariot and overrun into the Black Orcs. It's a long overrun, but they make it. So that means I am definitely going to be pinned down. So we go to Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Here's what it looks like. You know, you can see they've overrun, like I said. Not really any movement I can do here. We're moving quick because we're definitely running out of time at this point. I can't get any spells off or anything worth noting. During shooting, I'd been shooting these 2 corpse carts, or I started shooting these 2 corpse carts because I could get the template to hit both of them, and both Doom Divers hit both of them. With a little bit of regen, I'm able to kill the one on the left and put a couple wounds on the one on the right, but there is still a corpse cart left when all said and done. The Goblins finally lose, killed to a man. The Shaman gets away, and they don't catch him, but this is my turn. On his turn, he can just charge, and he has another shot at running me down. So that's probably not going to go so good for that little shaman. In close combat, I lose 7 savages. I kill like 9 more, and he crumbles a bit, but he still has about 4, maybe 5 left, so I'm stuck. Can't free those savages up to come help out. So they're an effective tar pit right there. Good use of core. And they're still rerolling everything, by the way. In the combat, he issues a challenge with his White King, and he definitely got ASF off because the White King was going at the same time. I say, sure, I'll accept with Grimgor. What the hell? Grimgor's got a nice armor save. I know he's killing blow, but he's got a 5-up ward. I'm feeling risky. And so Grimgor just punks the White King. Doesn't take any wounds or any issues from him. Just nails him. The rest of the combat, I don't have the numbers. It goes pretty bloody. As you can see, I'm missing a lot of Black Orcs, and he has a big pile of dead Graveguard there. But not enough to crumble him away and and get free. So I'm going to have a Vampire in the flank. So Vampire counts turn 4. He I flee with my shaman when he charges me, and he runs me down. like we said, we get a Vampire in the flank. You can see Grimgor moved over there, so he must have challenged with this Vampire. He was able, so we go to the magic phase, and I don't have the notes on that because we were just racing again, but he got everything off. He wasn't able to heal, but he was able to get ASF and rerolls both again. He throws out a challenge with his Vampire. I'm not sure if he challenged with his Vampire. He challenged with someone. It could have been the skeleton guy for all I know. Or maybe I challenged because Grimgor's standing there. I bet I challenged and he accepted with the skeleton champion. I bet that's why Grimgor's over there. And his Vampire went at the rank and file. I punked the skeleton, got a bunch of overkill. Then this is probably, I think, this might be before his Graveguard went or something like that. Because when it's all said and done, Grimgor flees. All the Black Orcs are dead, but Grimgor's fleeing, and he wasn't able to catch me. In the combat on the left there, I was able to finish the last few ghouls, took a couple, looks like maybe 4 more back, and turned to face him. And this is where we end the game. So it was going to be my turn. If this game had continued, I think we made it through 4 turns. If it was going to continue and had been more apparent, I would have had that Arachnarok coming around the side faster. And on my turn, would have been able to charge. I probably would have rallied Grimgor just fine. I think he'd have been fine. At least for one turn, because the BSB's right there. He rallies on a 9. Yeah, I think he would have been alright. I could have probably just done enough wounds and combat res to get through those Graveguard, even with their rerolls, and then hopefully go right into the skeletons there. The guys were a little bit further forward. They're all still within the charge arc of the savages. But that's what would have been. When it was all said and done, the game was very close. On the 20-0 system, I had an 11, he had a 9. So super, super close. A win for me, but a fun game, a great opponent. We had a blast, and I wish we could have got to play it all out, see how it was going, because it was just some crazy swinging stuff, man. Anyway, that's game 1 in the bag. Thanks for watching, and I have 4 more coming soon. Thanks.